Good morning, everyone. Robin Shea here. It is day 28, the final day of Before the Fork, the 28-day experience. And I am in my car because I remembered at the last minute that I had an orthodontist appointment this morning. So I thought, well, I have time to get dressed, get there, and I can do the video from the car. So tonight's video, incidentally, is going to be a little bit longer. I'm going to have some downloadables available to you, and we're going to focus on the practice of 80-20 living and how you can launch into that for your next 4-phase transformation 28-day experience. So this has really bad light. There we go. So this morning, what I wanted to talk to you about, and the reason that it came to mind is because of this very orthodontist appointment, and that is constant course correction. That's the name of the game. I'm almost 52 years old, and I'm having Invisalign. I've had Invisalign this whole past year because just over the course of time, my teeth were shifting a little bit, and I thought to myself, you know, the teeth, they're important to me, and I want them to look healthy, and I want them to reflect the fact that I care for myself. I could have thought, I'm just too old for Invisalign. This is, you know, what's the point? They're not that bad. But I went ahead and invested in my teeth and taken to the next level for the next half of my life. And I'm super, super happy I did that. But what you have to think about when you're thinking about constant course correction, it's one of the reasons that I lean so heavily and so deeply into find joy in the journey. Because every journey is just, first of all, it's an attitude. It's an attitude toward making changes in your life that rise up to meet the vision you've created of your future. And it's not a straight line. It is a zigzag, curly-cued, crazy line that part of the fun is learning to navigate it. And hopefully that is the message that you take away from Before the Fork, the 28-day experience. And that is when you find joy in the daily journey of realigning. Hi, Brian. That joy, that journey, regardless if you're on course or you're off course, that constant course correction is going to be ever present at every part of this journey. Now, men, unlike women, men have a little bit more of a steady state hormone release throughout their life. They're going to fluctuate, and your testosterone is going to drop as a man. But women, on the other hand, they go through 3 metamorphoses from a hormonal perspective. And with each hormone shift throughout the course of our life, we're introduced to a new body. A new body that is now having new hormonal dictates, weight distribution. As we move through our estrogen cycles, the weight is distributed in a very different manner at each phase of our life. The lower level, or the beginning level of estrogen, when we're young women, we're going to carry more weight in the lower half of our body. As our estrogen begins to shift, and begins to transition into the second form of estrogen, we're going to start getting a little bit more of the abdominal weight. And then as it shifts again into our final phase of estrogen, it's going to yet shift our weight distribution one more time. So what does that mean? It means that the nutrition that served you in your 30s will now need to be readjusted for your 50s, 60s, and 70s, simply because your dietary needs are going to change as your body is changing and these hormonal shifts are taking place. Men, you don't get to skate off this. It's the same thing for you. Your estrogen is going to shift, your testosterone is going to shift, and although yours isn't as dramatic, you're still going to have different nutritional needs for different phases in your life. So this process is never mastered. This process is in a constant state of evolution and a constant state of evolvement. So if there's something that isn't working, but it used to work. Like I hear this a lot where women will say, or men will say, I could eat anything. I could eat anything I wanted for all of these years, and then all of a sudden, boom. Well, remember yesterday's message, the evening message, when I was talking about good nutrition is good nutrition, bad nutrition is bad nutrition, kind of period. It does catch up with you. So if you never ever had to watch what you eat and all of a sudden, boom, overnight, anything you put in your mouth gets deposited as fat, it's an accumulation. So you're having to reinvent your habits because of that. So constant course correction is something that once you embrace it, it takes the pressure off of perfection. You don't have to do this perfectly because you're always searching for a little better way to meet your needs at that phase in your life. And if you get locked in to one eating plan and this is the only thing that works, then as your body shifts and moves into different phases, you're looking at that as a completely new challenge. If you just embrace the fact from the very beginning that your nutritional journey, your fitness journey, is going to be a constant course correction, then it opens up so many possibilities. It's one of the reasons that I experiment with keto. I experiment with slow carb. I experiment with intermittent fasting. Hi, Kevin. It's realizing that one form of nutrition does not meet an entire lifetime of goals. You have to be open. If you're closed-minded and you shut yourself off to possibility, well, here's a good example. In my gym, I have women that will come in and they were young college athletes, and I think we've actually talked about this before. And they'll want to go do CrossFit, or they're locked into one fitness regimen. That's what they do. So they've never cultivated any other areas of fitness in their life. They define themselves through one paradigm of fitness. So if they have an overuse injury, or if they enter into something like a CrossFit, or they get injured, they have no alternatives to fall back on. And it really, really rocks their world. And it's one of the reasons that I embrace seasonal fitness so wholeheartedly. And I allow myself to move in and out of different kind of fitness regimens. Because should I ever expire in one area, or something just isn't serving me, or I have an injury, I have other avenues that I've cultivated and I have a relationship with that I can move into. So constant course correction is the name of the game. Always keeping your eye open for, now, with that being said, you have to give different nutritional plans and fitness regimens their opportunity to work in your life. So I'm not saying move in and out of these very, very quickly, transitioning for one that just doesn't feel right or one you don't like. You can't have a wishy-washy approach. You have to actually cultivate a relationship with that nutritional platform or that fitness platform. And then if you see that it's no longer serving you, then start exploring other alternatives. But find what works. Keep exploring until you find a niche that works for you. And then when you see that it's waning, or it's just not yielding the results, then you can start exploring outside of that realm. 80-20 to me, as I've said before, was the basic elementary entry level. It provided me everything I needed to raise my children, have a happy home, feel that I was honoring their relationship with food, my relationship with food. It provided everything. And the more I grew in my knowledge, the more I was able to expand beyond 80-20 and start doing some of the keto and some of the intermittent fasting and the slow carb and all of the other alternative nutrition plans that are out there that are just a little more complicated and a little bit more involved. So that's, hi Kim. So that's kind of the message today is allow yourself to stay open to all kinds of different ideas of nutrition and fitness, and embrace the fact that a pilot on any journey from A to B is off course 90% of the time, and they just make simple, slight modifications and corrections to pull them to center until they get to their final destination. Well, we have no final destination. Our final destination is every night when we lay our head on the pillow, knowing that we did everything that we could do to honor our life, nutritionally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, our relationships, and then we get the opportunity to start fresh every morning and do it all over again. Sorry, got a phone call. Course correction is something to be embraced and to be appreciated for the liberties and freedoms that it gives you to work within a very open and loving attitude towards all of the transformational steps that you want to take in your life. So tonight we're going to go over the 80-20 lifestyle. It's going to be our final night together. We're going to talk about rapid results and what that looks like. Slow and steady, which is what does actually that mean? Maintenance on the 80-20 lifestyle program. I'm going to have a lot of downloadables for you and things that you can, that are not in Before the Fork, the 28-day transformation. Not in that book, but in the next book that'll be coming out. So this is kind of a sneak peek at what the 80-20 lifestyle book is going to have in it. So I'm going to introduce you to the 3 different ways that you can approach 80-20 living, what it actually looks like, what the parameters are, and how you function within those parameters to live a life that has served me so well nutritionally. So until we talk tonight, I love you all. I'm going to try to go live at about 8 o'clock tonight so that I can have a nice quiet house and spend some time with you and answer questions on the 80-20 lifestyle. But until then, love with your whole heart, be blessed, be a blessing, and always know that you're in a constant state of course correction. And what a beautiful way to live. You're not locked into anything. You get the freedom to move about and to make choices, knowing that there is no final destination. Your only goal is to find joy in every step of the journey. Y'all have a super blessed day. I love you all, and I will talk to you tonight. Bye.